Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Stephanie Carter here, and we are talking about vision, and we're talking about the power of vision. I hope y'all are ready to go today because we're going to talk about 12 principles over the next 12 days. So grab a piece of paper and a pen or pencil or a notebook, and you're going to want to write this down. Now, we've been talking about vision, and vision is being able to see further than you can see. Okay. So today we're going to literally, let me fix the monitor here, trying to get the glare off, but this is technology. All right. So let me think here. Let me see. I don't know if I can put on a different pair of glasses. All right. So we're going to, never mind. We'll just go from here. We're going to talk about 12 principles to succeed at getting your vision, all right, and fulfilling your personal vision for your life. Now, this is extremely important because people have ability and they have a sense of being in their purpose, but they can't get there. Now, the first verse of scripture I want to give you today is Jeremiah 29:11. And it says, now we're all familiar with it. If you've been in the church at any length of time, you're familiar with this. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Now, God has plans for you. He has plans for you. Listen, He has a plan for you. He says, I know the plan I have for you. So if you think God didn't have a plan for me, my life isn't going in any direction, what is happening? No, God has a plan. He has a plan. Okay. I'm going to try to do this without the glasses. He has a plan for you, and it's not to harm you. Okay. So right there, it means it's good. It's not to harm you and to give you hope and a future. So it's a plan that's not going to harm you. It's going to give you hope, and it's something for in the future. And it's going to give you a future. I mean, it's going to give you some legacy, some destiny. All right. Now, I'm going to give you 12 principles. Today is principle number 1. Hello, Fallon. Hey. All right. So if anybody's watching, you'll get a pen and some paper. And I'm going to start today for the next 12 days in this series of 30 that I'm doing. And we're going to talk today on the 12 principles of getting your personal vision. So today's going to be day number 1 of the 12, but I'm on day 13 of this teaching. All right, so principle number 1 is be directed by a clear vision. Okay, you're going to have to know exactly what God has for you. Okay, the first principle of vision is that you must have a clear guiding purpose for your life. Now, I teach this to my women clients. I teach them how to find purpose for their life. But every effective leader or group of people in history has had one thing in common. They had a clear vision. You are also going to have a clear vision. You are not going to get to your vision or purpose or dream or goal or whatever it is you want to do if you don't actually know that's what you want to do. You've got to have clarity on where you're going, what you want. Doesn't matter how hard it is. Remember, I said vision it doesn't stop you no matter how hard it seems. Okay. The vision must be absolutely clear to you, because otherwise you will have nothing to aim at and you will achieve nothing. Okay, I am going to have to put these back on because I can't see the words. Okay. Now, you were born for a purpose, a specific purpose, and you have take them off. You have that purpose in mind. When you can see that in your mind by faith, okay, you can get there. If you can imagine it, that's a vision. All right, and you can get there. So this first one is having clear vision. All right. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young, middle-aged, old, doesn't matter. If you don't have a clear purpose, you're going to get distracted by everything that comes along. Everybody gets distracted, even older people, aged people. They get distracted. You must realize that when you set your mind on what you want to do, all other business of the world will try to get in your way. This is so true. I need 2 extra days in my week. Not going to get it because that would be mess up all of culture and history. But I have so many distractions. So many things come as a distraction. Okay, so you have to be able to recognize this is a distraction. I can't let it get in my way. Have a clear guiding purpose will enable you to stay on track. See, when you really know exactly what you're supposed to do, you stay on track. So just be thinking about that. All right. Now, when you decide on a vision, don't sell yourself short. Don't. Let me ask you some difficult, necessary questions. Have you changed jobs several times in the last few years? Do you keep changing your major in college? Do you do one thing and then you switch to something else? Do you have a bunch of unfinished projects? Are you bored, dissatisfied? That means you don't have clear vision. You don't have clarity on what it is you want to do. You are not I'm sorry, y'all. There's a duck across the street and he is really loud. He's just one lone duck by himself. Okay, well, let's keep going. See, distraction. That's a distraction. All right. I've discovered that a key to life, one of the keys to this purpose is not only knowing what you are, but also why you are. Now, I teach this to my clients. You must answer the question, why do I exist? Why? Why am I the way I am? Why do I do the things that I do? It's more important to know why you were born than to know the fact that you were born. We all know we were born, but why was I born? Why? And many people never ask that question. They never ask themselves that. They don't ask, and you need to answer that. Okay? So you must choose where you want to go in life and then be decisive and faithful in carrying that out. So you have to say, okay, where am I going? And be faithful to that direction. Don't keep switching and changing directions. If you on a job, change your major, just back and forth all the time. No, be faithful to one thing for a season and then see where that takes you. See where that takes you. Okay. Now we're going to talk about a job versus a vision in this whole getting clear vision. All right. The difference between having a job and having a clear guiding purpose is in the story of Nehemiah. Okay, now I know y'all don't want to be read to, but I need to read the story to you, this part of it. Nehemiah had a job as a cupbearer to Artaxerxes, the king of Persia. This seems to have been an important position that may have included both serving wine to the king and his royal guests and tasting the king's wine to make sure it wasn't poison. Okay, yet being a cupbearer meant much more than this. Nehemiah was in a top position in the king's court and was highly regarded, trusted, influential advisor to the king. As prestigious as Nehemiah's occupation was, it was simply a job for him because his mind was occupied with something else. See, now think about it. This is his job, but he wanted to do something else. Nehemiah was a descendant of one of the large numbers of Jews who had been carried into captivity by the Babylons. The Babylonians were subsequently defeated by the Persians. That was why Nehemiah was serving a Persian king. Okay, this is why he was there. At the time of the Babylonian captivity, the city of Jerusalem had undergone terrible destruction. Yet, when the Babylonians were defeated 70 years later, 50,000 Jews returned to Judea and had rebuilt the temple. Then, an effort to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem was stopped by opposition from neighboring peoples who had convinced King Artaxerxes to issue a decree to stop the work. So Nehemiah wanted to rebuild the wall. This is what he wanted. This is what he really wanted to do. In the first chapter of Nehemiah, we hear that he says the wall of Jerusalem is broken down and its gates have been burned with fire. Okay. Some believe this destruction refers to the original devastation of Jerusalem. Either way, the news filled Nehemiah with grief. He was grieved over this, and he wanted to rebuild the wall. Where it even says he sat down and wept for some days. He mourned and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven. He wanted to rebuild the wall. That was his work. That was his vision. His job was just tasting the wine for the king. Your true work is what you were born to do. That's my point. And a lot of you feel that inside, but you're not doing it, and you need to do that. Your true work is what you were born to do. Your job is what you only do until you are ready to fulfill vision. Some of you, you will have to stay at the job you hate, you don't like, until it's time to step out and fulfill the vision. You will. I've been there. I'm still kind of halfway there. I'm not fully doing what I really am born to do. I'm still doing some other things. So I don't hate it, but I'm like, I know it's not destiny. I know it wasn't what I was born to do. Okay. Your vision is going to bother you until you take action on it. You're going to have to take action on it. Now, remember, this number one key to fulfilling personal vision is being directed by a clear vision. Okay. When God gives you a vision and he confirms it, nothing can stop it. Nothing. If he tells you to build, start, invest, create, and manufacture something, then it will bother you deep inside. You'll become depressed until you do it. That is so true. I mean, I had to literally just hire a VA to help me do a lot of computer work and stuff that I have no time to do because it's taking away from writing time and creating. And I just had to do that investment for myself. Okay. All right. So let's continue. So what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Write that down. That's a question. What do you want to do? Do you really know what that is? Think about it. Think about this. Some people just want to indulge in self-serving activities. Other people, they just want, entertainment and fun. Some people don't want to do anything. Now, we weren't born that way. Something's wrong if you just don't want to do anything. You just like, I'm just good with going to work and coming home. No, there's more that God has for you than that. Other people think that the doing something begins when they retire. No, that's not true either. And they miss out on practically their vision their entire lives. Your vision should be something that lives on after you are gone. It's something you leave here. It's a legacy. It's something that has bite to it. It has greater lasting power than possessions, than the things that we own, cars or houses or, these type of things. People's lives should be changed by your vision. So what do you want? Vision is, write this down. Vision is a clear conception of something that is not yet reality, but which can exist. So it's not yet a clear present reality. It's a conception of something, but it doesn't exist in reality to you, but it can exist. How do you answer the question? What question? First, you ask God to confirm what he has put in your heart for you to do. Ask him, God, what have you called me to do? What have you put in my heart? And ask him to show you, and he will show you. Vision is the preferable future. Okay, vision is really where you want to be living. That's where you want to be living at. Your vision is a clear conception of something that's not yet a reality, but which can exist. It's a strong image of a preferable future. It's like when you see the vision, that's the thing that you really want. That's where you want to be in the future. That's what you prefer to be living in. You want to live there. You want to live in that space, in that job or that dream or goal. That's where you prefer to be. Because of the fact that vision is often clarified through the desire to solve a problem, you need to think about, what problem am I going to solve? What problem am I going to solve? Nehemiah wanted to rebuild the wall. Many people don't realize that vision is active even when times are good and things are in a positive state. Also when things are bad. Vision is always future focused. It's never just right here. I've got things in my heart for vision, but I see them way in the future. What I could do, and it's like, oh, can I just get there? Can I just get there? It just takes time, one day at a time. That's why you never give up on vision. Vision possesses you. You don't possess the vision. It's too big. It's just too big. Sometimes people say, let's go back to the good old days. There's no such thing. It's not. I've said it. It's not. And that's not vision. That's just going back into the past. Yet if we do that, if we say, oh, let's go back into the past, the good old days, we will not progress in what God has given us to do. You just won't. You need to build on the past, but you cannot return to it. You cannot return to it. A clear vision is the last thing I want to tell you. A clear vision gives us passion that keeps us continually moving forward. You will never be stagnant or stand still when you have a clear direction or clarity on the vision and where you want to go. You won't stand still. You can't, because vision is always pushing you in the back or it's pulling you towards it, but you're never standing still, especially when you have clarity of where you really want to go. And sometimes you may have to, like I had to hire someone to help me to take a load off so I could keep going, because I was going really, really slow. I couldn't pick up any speed and just do some things I wanted to do because I had too much other stuff that I could literally just give to someone else to do. So look at your vision, see where you need to go, and answer these questions. And every one of these 12 keys, I'm going to give you some questions, okay, action steps. And here they are. Here are two for this number one. Have you truly answered the king's question? What is it that you want in life? That's the first question. So this is your action step for today's key. What is it that you want to do in life? Second one, what things in your life are distracting you from the real business of your life? So what do you really want to do? And then what's distracting you from doing that? You need to answer that before we go to tomorrow to day 14 and talk about the next principle, which is going to be know your potential for fulfilling vision. All right. So let me just give you some key principles. You can write these down later for this number one key principle for fulfilling personal vision. And the principles are you must have a clear guiding purpose for your life. The key to your life is not knowing what you are, but why you are. When God gives you vision, it's going to bother you until you do it. Your vision should be something that lives on after you are gone. Your vision is a clear conception of something that's not yet a reality, but it can be. The vision demands change by its very nature. You are going to have to change, or things around you are going to have to change. A vision is active when times are good and things are in a positive state. Vision doesn't try to recapture the good old days. Rather, it wants to create days that have not yet been existed. When you keep company with God, you have to keep moving. God is not standing still. It's always doing something. And the last one, a clear vision, gives us a passion that keeps us continually moving forward in life. So keep going. All right. That is all I have for you today. And I will see you tomorrow on day 14. Talk to you later.